Hello, welcome. This is New Vision TV. I'm Ruth Naseje. After the fall of Kampala on April 11, 1979, the Tanzanian troops continued pursuing Idi Amin's troops until they drove the last fleeing soldier across the border into the Sudan on June 3rd. That became another important day on Uganda's calendar, which has since been overshadowed by the religious feast of the Uganda Martyrs, which also falls on the same day. So New Vision TV now explains why Idi Amin, with such a formidable army, lost the war so easily.
2 days after the fall of Kampala, TPDF officers forced their way into the arsenal of Bombo barracks and were shocked at what they saw. An array of the most sophisticated military hardware of the time, nearly stacked and still packed in the shipping containers it was imported in. They could not understand how Amin could have lost the war, and all they could do was to thank God that he had not used even a fraction of what he had in there. Similarly, satellite equipment installed in different places from Mukono to Arua had not been put to the war effort. The biggest problem with regard to military hardware was nepotism. While the country had purchased a lot of sophisticated equipment from especially the Soviet Union, there was no qualified personnel to handle it. The Amin government had sent semi-literate tribesmen who had not even O-level physics knowledge for the training, and they all just failed the entry interviews. And in the last days of the war, even the remaining skilled fighter pilots, like the ace airman Colonel Ali Kiza, had defected and became rebels. Lack of fitness was another problem. Amin's soldiers had been leading a comfortable life at a standard of living far higher than the public for several years, driving luxury cars and sleeping in the best apartments. Bugolobi flats were occupied by soldiers of the so-called Marine. A key department of the army was the army shop. Every week, a special flight nicknamed the Whiskey Run would bring in luxuries, especially drinks and tinned food from Europe, for the army shop, where soldiers would access them duty-free. When the war started, the men and officers did not want to abandon their beautiful cars, so they started splattering them with mud and driving towards the war front.
Had now been completely
They were fair
routed
game to the
by the might
battle-hardened
of the Uganda
Tanzanians
forces.
who had
By
walked
the
on
third
foot
day,
from Kagera
more
to
than
Uganda.
300 enemy had
But
been...
the biggest factor was the fifth column, the ordinary citizens. Long fed up by the oppressive regime, the people could not wait to guide and help the invaders, to the extent of even extending the ultimate comforts. As President Idi was to say later at the OAU summit in defense of the invasion, Ugandan women simply made love to the Tanzanian soldiers. Radio Tanzania was broadcasting in Luganda with a pseudo-named announcer called Mr. Majwala, combining propaganda and military information to enable the civilians support the war effort. Overall, a heavily subsistence economy with large informal sector tends to make government less relevant to people's survival in Uganda than in other countries. In a country where factories had long closed down, where police was only playing music and mounting parades, and was no longer able to maintain law and order, the people saw no need to resist a foreign force bent on overthrowing their government. In fact, they sided with the invading force. Amin simply had no chance of winning.
You're still watching New Vision TV and your daily Pearl of Africa series. We take a look at Lake Nkugute. It is one of the over 50 crater lakes located in Bunyaruguru County, Rubirizi district. Besides its amazing additions to the district, its astonishing Africa shape has left many referring to it as Lake Africa. Lake Nkugute is associated with many tales, but what a non-resident will tell you after his or her visit is that Uganda is endorsed with incredible features, and this lake is among them. Let's take a look.
An aerial view clearly shows an African map, but this is Lake Nkugute. This lake is found in Rubirizi district in western part of Uganda. Unlike other lakes with less vegetation, Nkugute is much blessed with crops, eucalyptus trees, and its water is used for various activities by the locals. Some engage in fishing, not forgetting farming. The tourists who come to spend most of their time at this lake engage in hiking, swimming, and also sunbathing. Settlers have also embraced this locality because of its favorable climate.
And that's all we had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch more of our news updates on your mobile phone, on your desktop, on your tablet, and anywhere on the go by visiting our website www.newvision.co.ug. I am Ruth Naseje.